Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to A Natural State of Mind Disc Golf Podcast. It is the New Year's 2024. It is January 20th, 2024. Whoop, whoop. So, yeah, we haven't had one in about 3 weeks.
Well, since right? The one we did right after
the award show. Yeah. Yeah, so that was, and the award show was cool.
That's for 2023, though.
So we got myself, Chris Wyman, we've got Michael May, and we've got Mr. Christopher Wolford. We're back. We're going to be doing this one post-produced. So, but we're still going to keep that live channel available. So there'll be some happening here and there. But man, a lot to talk about as far as the new year with PDGA Disc Golf on the Pro Tour, but also locally. We have a lot of really exciting stuff here in the central Arkansas area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what's up, dudes? How are y'all?
Doing well. Being snowed in for a week.
Oh, man.
I'm ready to get outside and throw some plastic.
I am really not sure how people live in the north and deal with this on the
I don't know how they do it. I couldn't do it.
My
don't care for it.
My world and Mike's loins of his family are from kind of the same area, and you get lake effect snow, and it's like one day nothing, next day you get like 18 inches.
It's crazy up there too. It'll be like 30 degrees, and the old men will just be out on their porch in short shirts and a t-shirt, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm sure they feel the same way about heat. You know,
absolutely.
So
absolutely,
they come here and they melt like a little snowman, but it's fun. Doing well. I don't like the cold. I don't like hibernation, but it's a necessary process of the circle of life. So
absolutely, it is. For my field of work.
It totally has. No, that's it, man. If you don't want bugs, you better hope for a lot of cold, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We need that hard freeze.
I think we've had it, right?
We definitely got it. Yeah, I mean, we hit single digits last night with the wind chill.
I will say it was scarier driving around town with no snow and sunny out the last like Thursday and Friday more than it was driving around on Monday when I was driving that dude around with the WWE and driving in the snow.
Yeah, man, you're right. Actually, as the days progressed,
it got worse.
It got worse.
The slush became ice, right?
Yep.
So that's the worst, and it did in our driveway. But I haven't fallen yet. Boom, boom, boom. I'm old. I can't. So I may break a hip or something.
He would not play any more disc golf if he fell.
Man, no.
Lick.
Game over.
Right.
And that's another thing when
Sucks
you go out.
To be old.
Right. We all get there. You'll be there.
I'm on my way.
But that's the problem with playing out. I remember it iced over, and we went and played at like Moorheart, and you watch your disc just sit there and spin, and because it's no footing, right? So, but
that's a really important thing with where do you play when it snows? You know, do you want to play on concrete tee pads because there's usually ice on that? Do you want to play on turf? I prefer the turf, but also then there's footwear. You know,
I agree.
You can get those things that Duncan had a pair that you put out of your. You put it on your shoes. It's got some shit for gripping ice and stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I will say that last year when I went to Tucson, the turf pads that they had there were the best I'd ever played on.
Nice.
And it had ice on the tee pads, and it was still like you couldn't even tell.
Were they heated? That'd be cool.
No, we don't have that kind of budget, dude.
They probably have that up at what's the really nice one in Missouri? The nice
Eagles Crossing.
They probably have heated tee pads.
I wouldn't put it past them.
I asked the girl, it was so funny. This girl was saying, oh, yeah, I'm from Missouri. I went to University of Missouri. Oh, great. She, at work. And I was like, you ever heard of Eagles Crossing?
No.
Why is that important to you? I was like, it's not. But
no big deal.
Yeah.
We just changed the subject.
We actually, that might be part of some future episodes because we definitely want to do some traveling this year. All three of us. It'd be fun to travel for some tournaments, but also just for fun as well.
Absolutely.
Eagles Crossing, Harmony Bends, those are definitely two.
Missouri's a state that you could kill like a full weekend and play a lot of nice courses starting at Kentucky and going up to Idlewild.
Idlewild would be so fun to go to.
I think it's probably a bucket list course.
Absolutely.
For sure. A lot of new discs coming out right now. And this is, Michael May's preferred.
So is this Z-Flex new?
Yeah, it's Jawbreaker Z-Flex.
Okay.
So they've done a lot of discs with like the Jawbreaker Z combo. I think it just looks cool for one.
It does.
But then especially really cool with this one with the flex in it, speaking of wintertime, it feels so good because you can really just dig your thumb into it.
Yes, that's what, man. Yeah, for winter,
and it's tacky. I'm excited to throw this one today.
This
I'm
feels
excited to
like
throw your other one.
Wagyu. This feels like Wagyu beef in my hand.
Primo,
And I look
yeah.
at the numbers 9314.
It do be beef.
I remember I found one at Tracks and I'm like, oh, it was on hole 10. I was like, cool, I'm gonna throw it. This should work out. And I didn't know the numbers because it didn't have. Man, that thing dumped out in a matter of seconds. I was like, well, so much for that disc.
So that's the cap wrap. Quick question with cold weather throwing. So a friend, No Bogues and I, Nikki No Bogues, had a conversation about it, and then Gabe and I also did because I played the past couple of days. Not seriously, just out having a good time because I'm well acclimated to this weather by now, working outside. But question is, like, are discs more stable in the cold? And there's a couple of different answers for that, I think.
I heard from, I read from a comment on one of our posts, I think, or somebody's post, that Gannon Burr said that discs are more understable in the cold.
Okay.
It could be probably because of air density. I don't really know.
So that's what's going to come into it, right? Like we can get into Pineapple Express. It's going to be all scientific and everything. But
there's also
I don't know enough about. But the thick air and the hard your disc, the molecular structure of your disc is different.
But you're also not throwing it as hard. Your footwork's different, so it kind of counteracts in a way. So overall, it probably feels more stable, even if the disc flight itself is more understable.
So I agree with that completely. We're not putting as much power or pop into it. You're slowing your run up down. So yeah, we're not putting a lot of body into it. More arm.
Your
usually.
grip's worse usually.
Yeah. Pressure change may have quite a bit to do with it, but I think it's more so just the fact that it's cold and you're just not
a lot of
overexerting.
Yeah. It's more of the archer there, not the arrow.
Right. Yeah. So it was a cool little conversation we had. So.
I do want to say this is a pretty cool disc.
Well, that's what I love about them. Not to give them free advertising, but
yeah,
they look incredible. Like I have so many.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Discraft by no means.
Not at all.
Mike looks like he is.
Mike will be one day. He probably will be. I wouldn't.
But and they're all unique. That's what I like about it. Is they're truly like all unique.
This looks like
you're right. That's,
something we were doing with
really
minis, and taking that certain kind of paint and dripping it in there, and it would sit up in that pox. And,
oh yeah, you did the epoxy minis. Yeah.
Gabe hates the way these looks. He says they look like Petri dishes. Which is
actually kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
I would think that was neat.
The Bunsen burner.
Where's my Petri dish?
Pyrex flask.
I'm excited to throw it because now, would you say too on the Z Flex? Like I have a Z Flex Buzz. It is a more understable plastic, I think.
Yeah, so I think this one's gonna fall, at least from everything that I've seen and the people that I've talked to that have thrown them. This is gonna fall right in between the two runs. Okay. So the first year they did like a Z metallic kind of that very first run of cap wrap that are just stupid overstable. And then last year they did the ESP swirl and they had a little bit more dome to them. And that's the one that I love throwing backhand all the time.
This is pretty flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how it's flat.
But I think with this plastic and the flatness, it'll be right between the two, which will be nice. And it'll beat in a lot quicker than other plastics.
The Firebird?
It's basically a Firebird.
I mean, more stable than a Firebird.
Well, I'm just saying that's what that's where it's supposed to be at. Like,
yeah, probably because the Raptor can be kind of flippy sometimes.
And what's the?
So this was like that. No matter what you do. I don't think it's quite Chupacabra.
What about
level.
you? Is what is that one you throw?
Felon. Yeah. It's probably
that's what
it might be right
like
there
to me.
with
This looks like a lot like that Felon because it's so flat, man. That Felon feels real flat.
It's like probably your stable runs a Felon.
Yeah.
Like that's what this is supposed to be. Is instead of like worrying about is this a stable run of Raptor? I'm just gonna make a stable Raptor.
I would get this disc as a thumber disc, and because I know it's always.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's gonna sit nicer than other ones just because of the plastic, that softer plastic.
That plastic.
I believe I'm saying these are Discraft. These are
impressed.
Pretty nice. I'm actually impressed. These are really nice. I mean, because disc are always disc, right? So you have to come up with different ways to make them look.
Might be the prettiest plastic I've ever seen.
I'm gonna agree.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
It's super cool.
It's very much like iDye to a point.
Yeah.
And I hope you can find it because I always hated iDye. I thought there was some really nice iDye. I lost a lot of those discs because when that clear of the ground shoots up, or when the ground's over top of it, whatever's underneath it, that's all you're gonna see, which is the ground, the clear of the ground, or whatever the ground cover is. So.
I think too the fact that it seems like it's all pretty random, and so all of it's going to catch all of it's going to catch people's eyes differently. So then it's kind of like, beauty's
This one's
in
a
the
little
eye
more
of the beholder.
pollocky than this one is.
When they came in over at Perks, they had a big stack of them, and I was
Yeah.
I pulled them all out and put them on the. Did I send you that picture? Because I was like, I need to take a picture and send it to Mike. But I already knew that you were going to be right up there.
They're
whenever.
all beautiful.
Yeah,
They're nice disc. Hey, cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
They must just have a machine that flings it in there.
I don't know how they do that. That would be cool to look at, though.
Yeah,
I
it's
wish
hard
they
to
would-
get into a disc golf factory.
Is it why? Why is it so hard?
Some do tours, but
I really
they're
feel
pretty
like there should
secretive
be
about it.
common knowledge. That, I mean, they all have probably the same press machine that makes these.
I'll tell you this: I've emailed some companies asking to do tours and learn a little more about recipe and whatnot. They were not very open to that.
I imagine
their
that-
recipes probably not. But
Well-
that's again, their recipes are only as good as the person weighing it out and how much they care that day. If it's it's supposed to be 200 and they put 202 in there, that's where you get that run. Like, oh, this runs so much because a guy decided
Yeah.
their plus or minus wasn't that great.
I
Somebody
also
from
imagine that
manufacturing.
how they do things is probably not that different from another company.
I can't. No, that's what I'm saying.
It's not.
These all
So-
pressed. All the polymers all got to be the same. I would assume to a point. Now they may use different percentages, kind of like clothing, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it feels better at 85-15 than it does at. Well, that's beef.
Now we're talking his language. It's,
Well,
But they're not doing anything like I'm sure some companies are doing like, proprietary revolutionary stuff.
well,
But for the
MVP's
most part,
clearly
like,
doing something different with that.
true with the gyro.
overmold, and
Speaking
then
of, did you see what Clash did?
what they do.
They have come out with a new design. I forget exactly what they called it. You can probably go on their Instagram and see. It's called like I think it starts with an L or something. But anyways, they essentially took the gyro idea, and they did it to the bottom of the flight plate.
Oh,
So where like this part of the flight plate on the rim on the parting line would be gyro and have more weight.
okay. Oh, that's actually that makes sense. And
I don't know what
have
they
more
called
weight.
it, but it's interesting, and I kind of applaud them. Tone, that's it. And I applaud them for at least
Tone
trying
Loke.
something different and trying to
That was-
innovate, even if it
okay.
flops.
Did
There you
they-
go.
did they have any? Okay.
Yeah, so the white part
I'll try to
there-
get a video. I'll try to do some
Gotcha,
real video
yeah.
and put this in here somehow.
That
the
is
white part is
interesting.
like the gyro part.
I mean, that's
Which makes sense if you think about it.
Yeah,
It's the
Man,
same
you could really
theory.
turn
It's
that
gonna make a
grip
nice,
part
more stable
into a
disc.
lot of things. Like, could you put like? Now there was one disc I was throwing there for the longest time. It was a putter. Saw it, but it had a little grip, little rigid.
I know what you're talking about.
like braille. I'm not gonna say it's braille, but that's what it felt like.
There was a driver that has like dimples like a golf ball.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
I've
yeah.
found that one. one
didn't
day,
we throw
yeah.
that thing? We
Might
found it
have.
out at Heinemann or something.
Something,
Yeah.
and they're always fun to find. But anyway,
Yeah. So let's
that's-
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's what we're doing.
Nice.
Nobody's really playing much, right? You guys just aren't.
Not this past week. I mean, like I said, I played. I know you guys haven't, but
I have.
Mike and I are going to go play today
Haven't
Hell
even putted.
yeah.
because it's
I
like
may-
noon right now.
We're doing this Saturday at noon. Yeah,
But
or 11:45. Yep.
yep. So there's a lot of stuff happening. A lot of movement. Finally, people have announced.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. So we're going to jump into that real quick. But
Do
we're
you
going
think both of them were the announcements were like Gannon knew Eagle's going to come out? Really?
Well, I actually heard an interview where they talked about it. I think it was on Tour Life. They both interviewed him. And Eagle said that Gannon was at his house in mid to late December buying like a ton of his Discmania off of him.
Oh.
And then he said he
Yeah.
didn't want them to know that he was going to MVP. He said it was kind of obvious that he was already leaving Discmania at that point. And Gavin Babcock figured out where he was going because he airplayed something to Eagles TV, and his TV, he had it named Prism Proton, which was like an MVP plastic,
Yeah.
and the plastic of his first Signature Series disc. And so Gavin was like, "Oh, interesting, Eagle. Why'd you name it this?"
yeah, it's kind of a dead giveaway. I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, Al didn't go into the Discmania. Was the I think a lot of people were Discmania.
Apparently, he had been in that for a while,
Like,
according to Gannon. So take that with whatever you want.
Well, and
They-
he'd been buying stuff off of the Discmania Facebook pages that I'm on. He's
Gannon
been
already has
around,
like 1,000 Discmania discs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. A lot.
And I was listening
Saw
to
that.
Dan was playing an Eagle Simon thing last night off of YouTube and talking about how the putter. Everyone
A pixel.
now that I know Eagles putter. That
Indy. His is an Indy.
Been using it at one of Simon's.
Are you talking about the putter that Eagle's gonna use?
He's going to use.
Yeah, he's gonna use the Nomad, I think is what he said.
Oh, right on. Well, dang, that's a big step. That's a different putter than a P2. That Pixel looks like it's going to be P2-ish as far as the deepness.
It's gonna be glidey.
It is, yeah. It's definitely a Simon nose up putter,
which is pretty cool for the marketing for that, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that at all.
I saw some video he did where he talked about like it's a disc you throw the most on a. He's been thinking something about this all the years of his experience.
What MVP did was they archived all of their Instagram posts and they went old school Instagram with it. And they would put out a block, aka a picture, a 1x1 picture, like 3 a day or something. Till as it filled up the feed, it would make a picture. And at the end, you could see the pixel. And so obviously, they kind of led everyone into this trap of thinking that it was about this disc that everybody already knew about when everybody knew the Eagle was on the horizon. And so that kind of boosted their engagement numbers. And then at the end, they had the big reveal where Simon was like, oh, yeah, the Pixel. And then Eagle pops in like, oh, yeah, they're right here. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty genius.
Unboxing. Yeah, they are.
That's putting a lot of thought into it.
Yes.
Marketing.
That's good because you use the word engagement. That's a very...
social media, baby.
Social media word, how many engagement you have and what it means. People don't, I don't know how many people, I didn't know until I started doing this kind of stuff when you look at numbers.
Well, it's like you have impressions and then engagement. So there's a ratio with all of that, and there's,
And it's very interesting and to see, and I see why Mr. B says it does. I guess he's figured out the secret formula.
That dude's got it.
I mean, because
down.
he says there's so many ideas that you can do that can start up. Not that hard, he said.
Nope.
It's just getting to that point of those engagements of views and it's neat. It's cool. But MVP. I mean, so yeah, like Wyman said, we're going to talk about Gannon going to Discmania, but really,
those are the two, right?
Those are the two right
main
now.
ones,
Is there anybody else? I mean, the main
Emerson
ones?
Keith went to Innova, so he's
which
done
is
with
fine.
Lone Star's had a lot of movement.
That helps out the 10 to 15 ratings or whatever it is.
Clemens to Discraft.
Clemens to Discraft and his girlfriend Hannah.
Yeah, so
Win.
Win.
You literally say it like W-I-N.
Win.
Yeah.
She's a really nice girl. I got to keep her score. She did not
Don't
have
like
a
her
good day
music.
at JBO on that day, but man, I could tell she was new, and I think that was kind of her first tournament. Her and Chris had just started seeing each other. Super nice girl.
They are super nice people. I've met them both.
They seem like they're super nice folks.
They're super cool.
I feel like
And I'll tell you right now, I can't wait until I know they like Ledgestone already came out with some Clemonade stuff, but what I need is a Zone or a Raptor with a lemon stencil on it.
What
Nice.
was he throwing?
That's all I need.
Yep.
I never
Cool.
really
I would
heard
take that.
of.
Mm-hmm.
He was through a shot of something. Press diff.
Venom?
Yeah.
You never heard? I throw the Venom.
Oh yeah, he's got one. It's beefy.
never-
You want to throw it?
Beef
No.
beef master
I don't.
supreme.
Yeah.
You think this thing's stable?
It
Good
fought,
God.
fought back for him. That's for sure. He threw it.
I can't even make it flip up.
Yeah. It's the most stable disc in my bag. It's not
Okay,
even close.
that's probably why I'd never heard of it.
It would
it's
be
kinda like
utility
an Ape or
for
a
you.
Colossus. I'm like, I'm never touching those.
That's the disc that they retooled for AB because nothing was stable enough for him.
Who did they sign? Oh, Clemens.
Clemens and Win.
So it's all
And they
about,
re-signed Gossage. I think that was another
Oh,
important
good.
one.
Yeah,
For
they,
2
they
years.
should keep him on. Yeah.
I saw a thing where his uncle, Goose Gossage, Nolan Ryan got his 284th win, and Goose Gossage saved it, and it was his 284th save. They're both. I thought that was very.
That's
interesting.
cool.
That
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But
That's a cool moment in history.
yeah, stats are neat. There's so many of them out there like that you can find. Disc golf has a lot of interesting stats that they throw out there. Like we were talking earlier about the one about arms, about miles per hour and RPM. Some gentleman put out. I don't know his name off the top of my head. I'd have to look.
It's Coach Chris Taylor.
Yes, the coach guy, and you know, again, it doesn't tell you how the numbers came about. Those are just some numbers he put out there. Too many stated about. But
you know, it'd be cool to. A few people have talked about it in the area to get a tech disc, like throw down and get one, and
they're expensive.
Yeah, they are. So I would think maybe Perks might get one. They've got the space to actually utilize that.
Didn't a guy have? Is that what guy had that at JMO's tournament?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those are expensive.
Like $600.
Yeah, they're
okay. So that's
okay.
So that's in the grand scheme of things, of expensive things in life. That's not very expensive.
Here's the thing, though. If you could take that disc and then in turn have like a second upgrade or an add-on where you could turn it into a simulator using the data off of that, where you throw into a net and just plug it up to a monitor or something in your garage, then you're starting to get into the realm of, okay, I can see the value in that.
Right.
Exactly.
Because if you're not a pro, I don't see the value in all that info right now.
Sure.
If you can do it with ball golf and you can track a ball
Yeah.
that's so small and it's going so fast, you surely should be able to do it with disc golf.
So, you know, they've got the golf game that you can play on the, you know, you can actually hit the ball
Switch.
into, well, no, you can actually, I'm talking about the simulator.
Yeah, the simulators are
So
cool.
they are working on disc golf one. There's a group that's working
one on the
that.
Switch is pretty
I need to figure out the name of
simulator.
it. So if somebody's trying to work on it, you better get on it, because there are other people
It's
doing
gonna be
it.
expensive.
Mike
though.
actually putts the same way on the Switch one as he
True,
does in real
but I'm
life.
switching my putt up.
Oh, why?
Heiser putt.
I'm going to try a hyzer putt for a little bit. Just because so here's my thing. When I putt, especially in like very tense environments, I have a tendency, like my putt is very flat, right? Which is great because speed control and everything, but I have a tendency to roll. And so if you notice my miss when I'm nervous or it's tense, it's low right because I force that nose down. And it's like more of an Annie.
So
it's just not very controllable.
Question.
And I lose power.
At least you acknowledge it. You figured it out.
And that's fine, right? But do you change up the putt, or you change up the mentality to where you don't have that moment? See, I believe in.
Well, it's always going to happen.
Right. So
I'm not running from nerves.
No, you can't.
Hell
if you
no.
want to expect to do well and achieve really highness in disc
Got a
golf,
50% win rate, son.
50% win rate. 32 of them are flex starts.
Yeah.
You are the Cam Banks.
That's all I can play, damn it.
You and Cam killing it at flex starts, man. That's awesome.
But I did sign up for an A tier this year.
We're going to get into that one.
Yeah,
So,
but let's be okay. So Gannon, we all felt Gannon was going to Discmania last year, whatever, and then the whole contract,
he
whatever,
was.
blah blah.
everybody knew where he was going to go.
I mean, I was at All Stars last year, and his caddy Schlabach, the guy that owns Titan Disc Golf, had like brand new Discmania merch with tags still.
Oh wow!
You know,
Gave it away.
wasn't even I
there's a picture of
Give him
that
shit
out
for
there.
that. Like,
And I was like, well, maybe dude got that free at a mini, or maybe that was in his player pack at a tournament he played in.
I mean,
people were like,
you
trying
could
to use
say
it.
that, but it's like you're not wearing that with everything that's happening right now. Like,
But,
you're leaning into it a little bit.
I thought Gannon does his coming in was a good job. I mean, I don't know what. So I want to ask a question. So when these people get signed like this, do they know what specialty disc? I would assume. Why does you get something like that? That's something I wonder.
You mean like what, Tour Series disc, or
or like him picking the Nomad as the putter? I'm assuming, did they say, hey, we want you to throw the Nomad?
No,
or
probably not, because that's Conrad's disc, so I don't think they would.
Right, I don't know why he would.
Probably because it feels the best for him.
Which, by the way, I know we talked about
that's
it before.
two Conrad that he's jumped
But
on.
Because Conrad got there early. He got all the good ones.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude was nowhere around during. I mean, of course, he's not that kind of guy, but I thought maybe Discmania. Welcome to.
Who are you talking about? You talking about Gannon?
Yeah. No.
To my Conrad.
So to the MVP.
You mean
guys.
MVP? Yeah.
Oh.
And because, like we've said, and a lot of people said, without him, I don't know.
It's not happening.
Is it not? I mean,
It's
probably,
not.
maybe. They do have money, I guess.
It might happen 10 years from now, but then you don't know where those players are. That should be a
They owe
documentary.
everything to
Oh,
MVP does
yeah,
owe
it should be.
everything to James Conrad.
100%.
Not that they weren't.
Not everything.
They owe a lot.
51 point,
yeah, not everything.
50.1% is what they owe him.
Yeah, he probably should have some stock from that shot.
Man, I hope he does. Yeah, I'm sure that he's getting he's got a great.
But he's not that kind of guy that would ask for something like that. He's not that kind of guy that would even look for something like that. But
we don't know if he has an agent or not. I don't know if he does.
I
would hope he does, so that way, like he can just have somebody go to bat for him.
Should have a buddy go to law school.
Because Conrad is a super nice guy.
One of the nice guys.
You know, Paul Ulibarri is part owner of a company that does that are now doing.
What's the law firm that's a sponsor of the? There's one of the law.
Talking about Sunstein.
Yeah,
Sunstein.
Patents.
Yeah. More players are getting agents. That just shows you the progression of the sport as well. More money is being offered. So yeah, you have to have an agent.
It's just not buddy anymore,
right?
Which is
contracts
good. Which is good.
Never not do a null and void contract now. That is gone.
No more
handshakes.
Yeah, no more paper napkin deals.
Yeah.
Well, in some states, if there's a signature on it, paper napkin will hold up.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's more of like, hey, we're at a diner. You want to come throw our plastic for you? Yeah, dude, sounds good. We'll give you like 20 discs. I'm good? Okay.
No, it's not like that. They're not traveling around in vans. Well, they still travel around in vans, but I mean, like a little.
That'll be a thing for a while.
And it is, and there'll always be sleeping on top of their investment, right? Because all of them have their bed typically elevated, and underneath it's nothing but disc.
Yeah,
boxes and boxes of disc.
Discgolf.law usually does a pretty good thing on contracts. I'm sure he'll have some more this year. I would imagine he'll bring it up because now like Eagle signed a 5-year deal, so I don't know what he's getting paid.
I was kind of sad that wasn't public.
I don't feel like any of them are.
Simon's isn't public either.
They're not like professional football contracts where you hear, oh, he's 5 years, $60 million with 40 of it is a upfront bonus and 20 of it's paid out through time.
What that tells me too, though, is that none of those contracts push the envelope. Like it wasn't that 1 year meal.
Not like Ricky where they flew a helicopter.
Because that's a marketing thing. Like that's a good thing for the sport when you hear numbers like that. Like when you can go tell people like, yeah, we have guys getting paid $1 million a year. People are like, what?
Right for the MVP Grateful Dead disc to come out. Whatever, dude.
I hate the Grateful Dead.
Wow, we just lost that
I'm sorry.
All the Wooks of the world are now
and Fish is the same way. Okay.
Oh, Andrew Henneberry is gonna beat you up.
I wouldn't.
He's not. No, he's gonna like gas you to death.
We would have a very civil debate, I'm sure.
He's that kind of dude.
So other movement. Lone Star had a bunch of, there's some stuff going on there. Who knows?
So many people left.
Yeah, a lot did. I'm not sure if it was because of just being unhappy.
I think what I think these people do is they look at sales and how many Chandler Kramer whatever am I selling. And if I'm not selling a lot of it, why am I going to retain this guy?
Yeah, but what is a lot to Lone Star?
What is a lot to somebody?
Or is their investment? It has to be a lot, I would think.
But there's the thing is, when players start leaving companies in mass, and you have a marketing director that leaves, like that's not a good time.
Well, the marketing director leaving is not good.
That's what I'm saying. Like all
players
those
leaving
things,
contracts.
Well, all those things happening at once, though. Like I had a lot of people.
I mean, that's a complete restructure. Yeah.
Like you had Kramer leave, you had Emerson leave, you had Lisa Fakis leave.
She was probably
marketing director leave.
The three you said, she was the one who actually won or was close enough for them to.
I think her best finish was third. She choked away some of it.
Yeah, she did. Which one was that I watched?
Kansas City Wide Open.
Was it?
She choked.
She did.
Yeah,
that was it.
That was unfortunate.
She had like a 2 or 3 stroke lead with like 2 or 3 holes to go, and you could.
That was tough to watch.
It was tough to watch.
It was rough.
It's about as bad as watching AB at European Open.
Do you guys remember speaking of Lisa Fakis, her tee shot off of MVP hole 1? You guys see that? The worst grip lock I've ever seen.
Oh yes, I did see that.
Dude.
I mean, it went like straight right.
Was it worse than the Discmania kid at the European?
Yes, it was.
She just didn't hit anybody. It is the worst grip lock I've ever seen in my life, dude. It is bad.
I was talking with Josh Lindsay last night, actually, about he's one of the dads. I went to, same age. We went to school together at Catholic High, but he went to Europe.
What?
Yeah, he backpacked through
Kappa
Europe.
Chi?
Yeah, I went to Catholic High. That's right.
What the hell is that?
It's a high school, bro.
Kappa Chi? I thought it was a fraternity.
Catholic High.
Oh, I thought he said Kappa Chi.
Kappa Chi, dude.
I think this has actually happened before. I'm having deja vu. Anyways,
his brain works the same.
And this actually is relevant for the podcast because they're 2025 Worlds is in Europe. It's going to be in Europe. That's awesome. Very cool. I think that needs to happen. Doesn't need to always be in the States. But he was talking about the amount of players over there. There's not a whole lot of they don't really have tiers for 40 plus, 50 plus, because everybody's kind of so new coming into disc golf. COVID, players, and they are. I don't know what the rating over there. There was that argument about what's the comparison on ratings for a 970 player in Europe to a 1030 here in the States.
Yeah,
they're very good over there. So
I think we're going to see that a lot this year too. Like there's going to be a lot of more European guys that are coming over this year, and then at the same time there's going to be a lot more of our guys going to Europe. So you're going to really start to see it.
Their names are tough.
I
know they're not like names we see on the reg, and they're probably very common where they live. But man, I saw a couple of names on a list of players or something. I don't know what it was. Somebody's top.
Oh, they just sound cool.
They do.
And yeah, man, I enjoyed hanging out.
So Discmania over there, they're picking up a ton of folks.
Huge
for Europe.
Them and Prodigy are probably the big dogs over there.
Yeah, Prodigy Europe is big time. Prodigy's still doing okay. They've got your boy.
They got the Robinson brothers.
Yeah. Are you okay? Question: Are you full-fledged Isaac now? You've abandoned Calvin shit?
I mean, I am selling my Calvin discs.
Oh my god!
No,
what? Yeah.
Listen, this is
Calvin's gonna win Worlds next year.
I'll be honest. This is the year.
I love him,
Calvin. I know you don't listen, so this is the year. It's our make or break year. You're gonna have to win big this year. I can't support first and second losers. I like winners.
Oh,
and Isaac's.
He does.
Isaac
he needs to win a major big time.
He does, and that's what that comment's about. He does. You can't be that. You can't be the Charles Barkley or I don't know who.
No, that's a good one. He never won finals.
Comparison.
People who are some of the best players ever that to never win a title. You are definitely measured on your titles.
Yeah,
as we see with the LeBron and
that's just what people remember a decade from now.
Sure,
that's what will be talked about.
So
nobody talks about all the random tournaments that Ken won. They talk about his world titles and majors.
You're right.
So we were somebody brought up, and I don't know how I felt about it. Like Paige Pierce needs another Worlds or needs another something to tie Ken Climo.
You ain't gonna get it.
It's not Worlds. It's majors.
So
same with Paul.
Paul was right there too.
17.
So how do you?
You're right. That's right.
To compare women and men,
which is crazy because they both lost the same Worlds in crazy fashion.
It's weird.
I don't know much about Ken Climax. I have to look. Is there some video of him out there?
Yeah, there's actually a decent amount on YouTube.
Does PDGA have a lot of archive, or does
you can just go on YouTube?
Yeah,
it was kind of the Wild West. Whoever showed up and filmed back then.
You can see the most recent. Yeah, you're right.
But I get to watch a whole bunch of that because we do a series called Flashback Friday, and so we always try to go and look up like old footage and stuff.
Okay,
I've looked a lot of that.
Can you do that on
it's on
DGT?
socials? Yeah.
Cool. Check
I
that out.
actually have to support your business besides giving them money that I don't want.
Give me some of that engagement, dude.
I'll hook you up. You're right. No, you're right. But so Gannon and Alden, do the Robinson brothers follow? They're obviously a tight knit group. I don't know.
Next year will be interesting.
I don't know. Like if Isaac does so well again this year, and Ezra is getting a lot better.
What if Isaac wins 2 more majors? Is Prodigy going to pay him?
That is
they've shown they haven't. They're a lot like Innova, man. We're just going to stick to our model, and that's not pay these guys.
Prodigy loves the fringe guys, so this is really like with Gannon and him as the first 2. I guess Kevin.
Yeah, and they've invested so much in Kevin.
I mean, Luke does a great job. I mean,
but he's kind of a fringe guy too.
Luke is just great he's a great marketer. You know,
he's great for the sport.
Yeah, he's absolutely
undeniably
great for the
sport.
So, he has a place on any team just for that reason. He doesn't even need to win. He's valuable.
No, he's Nate Sexton. I mean,
but it is a different echelon when you start getting into like multiple world titles and stuff like that.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. It'll be interesting.
Nate Doss is coming back to play, I heard.
Or does Isaac and Ezra want to go to Discmania?
I mean,
dude.
And then
imagine Isaac throwing a friggin' MD1. Sheesh.
Ooh. He would throw Origin really well.
That's the mind bender that Simon used to.
Yeah,
so
it's a nice disc. Good mold.
Okay, so they're not giving. Obviously, the Lozado takes up a disc. So Eagle comes in. What do they give him? What's it?
Well, here's the thing. He can't even throw right now.
I said he threw left-handed in this video and almost hit
his first throw. He hit metal.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, man. I don't know how I felt about it.
Okay, buddy.
I was just like, dude, this is dumb.
And he's throwing like 370-foot hyzers with the left hand, and it's just insane.
Right
Yeah,
arms
his
and
form is
whatever.
really-
And I was just like,
Give him
I'm going
props
to go
for
back
that,
and be
that's for
fresher with
sure.
my computer because this is more frustrating to watch him in his big
It's
white,
impressive,
white
man.
teeth
It
and black
is.
glasses that his Buddy Holly want to be.
I met a kid last night that looks just like Rivers Cuomo. You guys know who Weezer
I have
is.
no idea who that is.
So it's the lead singer of Weezer.
I knew
yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, oh.
That's funny.
These
Yeah.
homies.
Anyways,
dissing
tangent.
My girls.
So, all right. So we're
Weezer.
seeing MVP. It looks like they've almost like gotten the Discmania marketing guy. We're there on MVP.
MVP's marketing is really good.
They've upped it, man. Yeah, they're going to kill it. And then
Plastic
having that
looks
duo, it's
great.
going to be great for them.
They make good looking plastic. Seems to be durable, right? I don't
Very
really hear much
durable.
people saying, "Oh, it takes a lot of shots in." And
Well, I always hear they're the most consistent of anybody.
That's heard the same thing too, and I've actually felt that way throwing what I have for MVP or Axiom or Streamline.
So those are the three, right? MVP, Axiom, Streamline.
They also
and
make-
Streamline was the one that didn't have because
Streamline is the non-overmold,
Yes,
which is interesting because they're putting out. I think they're putting out non-overmolded glitches. They're putting out like non-overmolded time lapses.
you're right.
And
yeah,
okay, so I guess we need to talk to people
to start
who
looking at that more.
have an overmold and non-overmold. I mean, I would assume the non-overmold would be less.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It'll
I
be
don't
interesting.
Yeah.
But going back to like what Eagle throws, dude, it's gonna be interesting.
Posted some videos. A cool looking disc had a flaming eagle or something on it.
Are you talking about his,
That's
his
the NV.
signature one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
an
the
NV.
NV.
So and
But the NV is like one of the
they're
best
going to
discs
make him
ever.
a PD2, I'd imagine. He will
Conrad's
have
the
a-
Nomad.
MVP has a lot of stable stuff. And that's the thing is in that same video, I think Simon was talking about how him and Eagle get compared a ton across their games. But he was like, if you look, even in Discmania days, my bag and his bag,
Totally different.
completely
Yeah.
different. Because Simon's a more neutral to understable, sometimes slightly stable. Eagle is like very stable, let me hammer on it kind of guy.
They're like the Crush dads now, not the Crush boys.
Yeah. Well, and Eagles arm speed too. Definitely more than
it's
Simon.
different,
Yeah.
dude.
Is it ironic that Eagles partner is now sponsored by MVP?
Is she really?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably similar to with Gannon and Alden. There's a lot of that.
Oh, you got
Hey,
Clemens and Win.
Yes.
To
Help
help
me
And I
out.
wanted to bring this up. Man, companies have to deal with that. If you know that there's partners together out there, man, you're getting a twofer, man. It's-
Well, they can travel together easier. It just
Yeah.
makes sense.
it does.
it does.
They're gonna make
And-
social
man,
media
but
together,
also
and then
what
you got
doesn't
two
make
channels
sense
from that.
is we all know, being three single guys, that it's tough to keep a girl. And man, I would not want to be trying to travel with the woman.
I am not trying
play
to
disc
date.
golf and do well.
Maybe you haven't found the right woman, dude.
Maybe I haven't. I didn't know it. I don't know. I question that every day.
Apparently,
So,
apparently
every day
none
I'm
of us
single.
have. But
So, have that bag. I got my Calvin bag.
Just got to get sponsored and find you a female that's sponsored by the same company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because so many
I do
people are
wanna-
looking for
I wanna
shitty
disc golfing girlfriend.
MP50 players or MA50 players.
Yeah.
so, all right. So we talked about some movement. When is All Stars?
All Stars is the weekend, I think the 16th.
February 16th.
Check my day. I know it's the week after my birthday.
So
That's
Waco's the
it's
first
about
official
mid-February. I knew
tournament
that.
of the year now.
No, we
No.
open at Tallahassee.
Nope. Chess.com.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Chess.com.
Which will be
I love
so
that
we will
partnership.
the All Star event will be at the same course, the McSeese course, the Throw Down the Mountain course. All Stars will be at that
Yes.
same course that chess.com is at. So that'll be cool. We'll get to see it 2 weeks in a row.
That's awesome.
Chess.com.
I can't wait to see the
February 23rd.
redesign of that.
Yeah, and then the week
Okay.
before that will be All Stars.
Okay.
So the
Awesome.
whatever that is, 15.
We're literally like a
17.
month away from getting to watch some disc
And
golf.
then you got Waco.
And Ace
then
All Stars will be
Austin.
cool because we're gonna do. I don't know the exact details, but there's supposed to be a new format to it,
So you got
some new
Okay.
events,
I
which
did
will be
hear
fun.
that, yeah.
And
It's
I'll be
kinda
at Waco.
Boring.
So if you're at Waco, come find me.
maybe a Waco. I may go
Nice.
with
Dude,
you.
I may go too. Waco's
I like
not
Wake-
far.
Waco's not far.
And I'm gonna be at D-Glow.
But
That's dangerous.
I'm gonna go up there too.
That's dangerous.
For you, yeah. Sponsored by who?
Discraft.
Mm.
Speaking of, did you see they not to get off topic
No, you're
because I
right.
know we got a time
We do
limit.
that a lot.
The new Discraft disc. The Kratos.
No. What
Beaded
kind of
Luna.
What?
Which here's my thing.
Sounds
okay,
like a challenger.
Here's my thing. I bet this is, well, maybe not. It could be either they knew they were doing this with the Luna, or this could be a fix to the Luna. But it's supposed to be stable.
Right. Okay.
And people have
always
been
our complaint.
clamoring for a stable Luna for years.
Right.
So either they changed the
Clamoring.
Luna, they changed the Luna, because they definitely fucked with the mold. There's no way they didn't fuck with the mold.
Oh,
Mike's cussing. It's bad.
There's no way they
that's
didn't,
it.
dude. Those discs
I
after
agree.
2021 fly so different.
The best one was the 2020, in
Yes.
my opinion. As far as stability
Yes.
goes, it's exactly what you wanted in a
That's what
premium
people fell
plastic
in love
thrower.
with it for.
Yeah.
And then I think
they
they
just-
probably made it to be a little bit more like for the average thrower, which I get, because some people probably didn't like how stable the Luna was. But like trying to throw it hard, and if you have a decent arm speed, like you need a stable one.
Yeah, and if you're looking at those numbers, you expect that.
Yeah.
3303. That to me says stable. If
It was
you
a
go by
perfect
numbers.
compliment to his zone.
Right. So good. I'm glad they're bringing something out. I actually do like throwing beaded putters. I used to throw a Link quite a bit, and I threw those really well. So
I'll be excited for it because it is apparently very stable.
okay.
And
Kratos. Huh?
and and Kratos, that's that guy right
yeah,
there.
I know. I was gonna say, is that the game guy?
Yeah, my favorite game of all time. So
Oh,
it's
dude, it's-
perfect.
yeah,
And
they made this for you.
they're teasing them and dropping them at the Northeast Disc Golf Expo, which I'm gonna have people there, and they're trying to try to get me one.
That's in Massachusetts.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, that's Ben.
Somewhere up
Intern Ben runs that.
Yeah.
From
So
Nobody's gonna hear any of this when I do post production. I'm gonna do some like just awful music playing over this. 'Cause
Hopefully-
that's about what it sounded like. to me
hopefully
when I
I'm gonna
went
get
through.
one.
hey, if there happen to be like one or two extra,
There's no way,
you
but you can
grab
throw
it.
mine.
Rados.
Okay, I'll do that.
Is he a real
God,
God?
yes.
Yeah? Okay. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, you're fine.
Oh, here we go. There's
Mike
a-
actually has a lower back tramp stamp of Kratos.
Mm. With all of my zero tattoos.
We got Waco, and then you go to Austin,
Hmm.
and then Texas State, which is in Tyler.
Oh, dang.
It's kind of cool that Texas State's is back to an elite event. I like that.
It should be. I guess that
it's a big
courses.
one.
They use all the courses there at that park.
Yeah, they make like a hybrid,
Yeah, they do.
and they always switch it up every year, which is nice.
That's a bucket list
if
area.
you want
Tyler.
to play some low ceiling pine. Right there.
Dude, yeah, great woods golf.
It is.
But yeah, you're right, Mike. They do, and they do that with a lot of courses when
The
they come in.
pyramid.
They're gonna come in. They're gonna use probably a totally different layout and combine two courses
Hmm.
times. So that's what they would do. Possibly what they might do, and we'll segue right into it, to our local. We actually have an A tier coming pretty soon, right before Jonesboro. Congratulations to Persimmon Ridge.
Yeah,
That is huge. They've been itching for that, and they have a lot of talent signed up already.
too much. Dang it! I didn't get to sign up for MPO.
I saw Josh Coghill post.
What they have?
How do you get a DGPT card because all these events fill up so quickly with these pros?
It's fair.
And I'm
They do.
like, I mean, if it's a regional event, maybe hold some. I do. PR did hold slots for 5 people.
They did.
Yeah, which I'm curious as to what those 5 people are going to
Well, I mean,
I
it's
feel like you
kind
should
of
be able to
obvious.
get
I
one of
mean, I
those.
don't know if
maybe.
Eagle.
I imagine they're going to be for big names, man.
I mean, it is because
because if you got a guy like Simon or Eagle or Paul or Ricky or Kristen,
sponsored by MVP.
So Eagle's in.
Eagle's what?
He's apparently given Eagle has said he would go if he's ready.
I think he said his first event back is going to be Champions Cup.
Okay.
So possible.
Could be a warm up. I mean,
Because it's in between. When is that, by the way? Is it before or after Jonesboro?
April.
It's before.
Before, okay.
They're
Weekend
catching
before.
all the people coming up to jump.
That's the way to do it.
That is the way.
And clearly, because there's some really good people signed up for
It
it.
was the same last year with
Games.
Perks. Yeah,
Yes.
doing Little Rock games.
Yeah, I had a
before,
few pros
so.
come through. Not quite to this level, though. There was some.
No, this level's high.
I mean, you got like Aaron
Yeah, we-
Gossage, Drew Gibson, Corey Ellis.
It was the year. I hate to even say
Yeah,
it
pulled
like
up
this
right
because
now.
I like Yakub and the other dude. It was pretty. This is the.
It's a different level,
Never mind,
man.
I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna be ugly.
So dang, MA1 is filled up.
I'm glad I signed up for that one. I did too.
Yeah, I was gonna sign up. So
Which
may
I
still
will
do
say,
that.
I don't want to. surprised at the field in MA1.
Why is that?
Not as many high-rated guys as I thought there was going to be.
No, actually,
I might be the highest-rated guy by a lot.
Well, do you think a lot of
actually.
these guys sign up just to be able to play?
They can play PR,
100%.
Because the other tiers are going to be playing at Greenbrier.
It's kind of a
Beaver
bummer.
Ford.
I'm hoping there's some sneaky guys that like are good competition.
Well, I think you're going to have some good competition.
I hope.
You know?
The only competition is you and the course. Everybody else, everything.
I mean, I
everything
hear
else
ya.
is
Yeah,
I hear
yeah, we
ya.
gotcha.
There's a reason why people say it, man.
But there's a reason
That's
why
true.
you like to play with better people too, then, right?
I do.
I mean,
I suck. It's very fun.
This is awesome, dude. I mean, you got players.
I like to watch the disc fly. They're pretty cool, actually.
You know, Aaron Gossage, like you said, Nico's going to be there. Of course, Hebenheimer, but we're looking at players like Drew Gibson, Matt Bell. I mean, this is just like an elite event.
The
pretty much,
assistant
looking at
TD.
this.
It's probably close to a
ton
silver.
To do
Some
with
of the
it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Silver events last year.
Luke being
Evan
involved
Scott, I
in
like
it
him.
as he is with the PR folks.
That helps.
Kim
Yeah.
and Steve. I will say, Miss Kim, I love her to death. They were
FPO field's
announcing.
nice. That'd be cool to see Jana play against them too.
Yes, I'm very excited that
Oh, the
Jana signed
women.
up. Yeah, good for her.
There's some good women.
That'll be a good opportunity for her.
It will be.
She knows.
She's
the course
not the
well.
lowest rated player there.
I'm sure Evan's happy now that.
Oh yeah, Evan signed up in
Evan's a
MA1 too.
Discmania guy, so
They're both
I guess he
Discmania
still
folks.
is. I didn't know what she threw.
I think they're definitely trying to get that sponsorship. So blasting all over their socials.
It'll be cool. And what's
their
cool
attention.
is I'm going to try to, hopefully, if I can, swing something where we can record some stuff for the Pro Tour out there.
Sweet.
Because when you have that many high tier names
Oh.
there, it's like you gotta at least try something.
GK Pro will be there.
I know that,
Yeah, so that's. I figured they would.
and
be.
they're one of our media
Luke.
partners. So I'm going to try to do something.
Cool.
Maybe have like a fun game or something with the pros.
So the other cool thing about this is that is the weekend that is coming up on the total eclipse.
Oh, the total eclipse. And
Oh, is it
everybody's
really?
I didn't.
Yes, that's
I
on
think
Monday.
It's crazy how
That's
it
gonna
blows
be
me
nuts.
away how people are coming to Arkansas just to watch it.
Well, we're right in the the line of totality, as they call it.
No
And
kidding.
So does that
Oh,
mean
yeah.
like somebody's
Like,
going to come out of the
Oh.
sky and like laser beam us?
We will have the
We got the
best
better
Starts
chance?
with laser beams.
attached to their heads. But yeah, we're actually. I mean, we are going to have so many people in the state. There is not a hotel you can get right now for that weekend.
That's
I
pretty
wonder
cool.
if that has a lot to do
Like
with
a couple
this,
mil,
man, because
probably.
That's a very
Damn.
disc golf's a very in tune game with.
Glow around while the eclipse is happening? Question mark.
Well, they're right, dude.
Can you look at it? Is this the kind of one you can look at?
No, you got this
We're
goggles
on while you're trying to
all going to be wearing welder glasses.
You
while we
cannot.
play.
Yeah, you can't Donald Trump this. So don't be an
that's
idiot. You will. Your retinas will be fried. You will not see the same. But it's very
Well, at
worth
least,
it.
At least
Yeah.
Trump can say it. This president we got now can't even put two words together. They need to let him look in the light, blind him.
So I might be up in Morrilton for this, but I'm hopefully not going to.
Going on Morrilton.
Well, so there's Camp Mitchell's up there,
Oh.
and they've asked if I might be able to come up and help. But I like the idea of camping over at, which Morrilton's beautiful, Petty Jean. But I like the idea of going.
You say
camping over it.
Morrilton. I don't think beautiful. You say Petty Jean. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
no,
that's
yeah,
it.
there we
That's
go.
why
I
threw
forget
Petty
that's where
Jean
it's
in there,
at.
'cause it's just around
That's funny.
Morrilton.
That's true though.
Yeah, very true. But yeah, PR, you can camp on the grounds. So if anybody's listening to this from out of state, it's never played PR. It's actually our top course in Arkansas as far as UDisc voting goes.
It does have a campground right down the road.
And there's
Willie
Willie Hollow. Yeah.
or something like that.
So
Booger Holler.
you better look into it now because it's
How'd
going to
that
look
feel?
like a festival out at PR,
It will.
I would imagine.
It'll be the biggest thing they've had out there, right? I mean, Luke's
Yeah.
getting back to disc golf wasn't as big because this will be able to have spectators, and but there was a lot of good pros out there at that time.
And I'm assuming it's a nighttime thing, right?
No, this is during the day.
So is it going to happen while we're playing?
No, Monday is the day that it will happen.
Gotcha.
So so people, and I
We'll
think
hang
that
out a little bit.
a lot of businesses will probably close. They'll probably treat it like a holiday around Arkansas.
I'm gonna go
So
out
how
there.
rare is this thing
Let
happening?
me show you the
What is
Yeah,
the
because what
one
is
in
the-
however many years
Because I
thing?
feel like this has happened in my lifetime, being 49. That is a
Boomer.
few decades, but
Let's see. I will. Y'all keep on spitballing stuff. and
Okay,
I'll-
Oh, I
okay.
know we can talk about when we do this. The player pack.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Pretty phenomenal.
Pretty.
Eight
Oh,
discs.
sponsored by MVP. That's
8 MVP discs.
very cool.
Yeah, 8.
8. You get a damn
Okay,
box.
so if they fill that up, you do the numbers. That's a lot.
Well, I had a buddy sign up for MA2, And he was like, dang, he didn't even realize he didn't play at Persimmon. And he was like, should I drop out? I was like, do you see the players pack? I was like, it's one of the best value player pack I've seen.
I agree. That's why I would sign up just for that.
Which is very debatable. And
to go from Persimmon to Beaver Fork is kind of a bummer.
In my circles that I run in, because
it's a big step down.
You go to JBO, you don't get to play on the big course unless you sign up.
But at least that rec course used to be like good. And it was adjacent.
Beaver Fork in its tough positions is really good.
Beaver Fork and Persimmon are like two different worlds, though.
Totally.
It is. No, it is. But the two courses there are like two different.
Yeah. And there's a lot of like MA2, MA3 guys MA4 guys that absolutely adore Beaver Fork.
And the other
so
course
I'm sure
is
they're
what,
stoked.
Greenbrier?
Yes, Greenbrier City course.
I think they did a church course for one of them.
Oh, there is a church course.
Conway does have a church course.
So yeah, maybe it's not Greenbrier at all.
Which would be a wooded end of it. From what I gather, I haven't played. So.
All right, you guys want to hear this thing? So
yeah,
it's Monday, April 8th, and starts at 1:52. So Arkansas is like it's crazy because our entire central portion of the state is in the line of totality.
Okay.
Sevier County is going to be where you will see it the best. That is up kind of around the Morrilton area. It's going to be the total eclipse where it will actually be just look like an MVP disc glowing.
They're going to do some marketing for sure.
Oh, they are going to, yeah. And no wonder MVP came in to sponsor it. It's all perfect in my mind, in my opinion.
I like I like their little logo too. Kind of neat.
Yeah. So it's the total lasts 2 minutes 29 seconds. It will last though, as far as the
minute guy.
Yeah, it'll be 2 hours and 38 minutes is the duration of the eclipse.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool, man. Yeah.
I remember one time as a kid in school, they put up like stuff all over the windows, and they told us not to go outside and look.
Yeah.
How often did you say?
Yeah. What's the rarity?
So that is another question. Let's see. Let me look that one up. You guys spitball.
Yeah. So player pack, I think you get there's going to be a custom stamp disc for the event. Essentially, it feels like you're almost getting a mystery box. I'm going to get another Watermelon Paradox.
Nice.
To replace the one that I gave you.
Something a little heavier?
I probably can't throw it either way.
Okay, so why do you want one? Oh, because that comes with the player pack.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
I'll just have another one to replace the one that I gave you.
What are all the ones? Because I didn't know.
It's a custom stamp one. I think 3 premium ones. The Watermelon Paradox. I wish they could give us a Watermelon Hex. I would throw the absolute hell out of Watermelon Hex.
Oh, man, yeah, that would be a nice disc to have.
I would throw the mess out of it.
They are sweet. I love the Watermelon disc. Thank you for that disc, by the way.
PR
not really a winter disc, though.
No, not at all.
3 additional Eclipse Glow disc, 1 MVP Paradox Watermelon, 3 Lab disc assorted, 1 UV flashlight.
I could probably make a ton of money.
You get a flashlight. Right.
I probably won't, but I could.
So here's how awesome this is, and you're right, you could. So a total solar eclipse. We've not seen one. We never will again. Not in our lifetime.
Whoa.
They are once every 360 to 410 years.
Damn.
On average.
It's not as rare as I thought it was going to be.
Listen, I saw the Hellbop comment.
That was right. Man, that cult was all over the
That was
TV
pretty
too.
cool.
It was pretty neat.
But anyway.
This is going to be so good for PR.
It is going to be good.
Wow.
It'll be a true test of the course, and then hopefully they will take the feedback, which I would hope that, I'm assuming.
I don't know. That's a question for Charles. They might. I don't know. I'm sure though. I'm sure that there are forums and stuff for players to put their opinions.
2 cents down.
Yeah,
sure,
100%. There's going to be a way for them to do that.
If I was a TD at those events, I would totally want to know that.
Absolutely.
What I'm doing is the best, but PR does have a beautiful piece of property out there.
But they're also doing a new layout, right?
Do I think that
That's
best
what
18 holes
I think they're going to modify
are
it
out
a
there
little
right
bit.
now? Probably not. I think that you can take a look at
there were some sweet holes, and we should probably talk about that too. The triples.
Let's jump into that because we're pushing time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
you can finish your thoughts. Sorry.
No, that's it. Well, how long we been going?
About an hour.
Close to like 55 minutes.
All right, and plus you guys got to go to the mini.
Yeah, we got time. You're coming too, bro.
Yeah, you are. I'm driving. Let's go.
You don't want to throw my discs?
Yeah.
Throw this disc.
But anyway, I was just saying that. Yeah, I hope they get the feedback, and because I do think
It needs to be elevated.
listen, it's in a perfect spot. We've talked about Little Rock Games. Clearly, PR,
And they're wanting to
magic here because it hasn't always been that on that day. I think, right? It was a Memorial Day event at one time, I believe.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
They keep
changed,
wanting to
yeah.
raise the bar too, and the
And
A
that's
tier is a
great.
big step.
And they should because they've set the bar with how the tourneys and minis that they run is on. They've been through, like I said, you
Consistent.
do things a while. Should find a good, nice consistent.
I'm gonna be so interested to see what the pros shoot, because I've always said I feel like the pros can absolutely demolish that course.
It is.
Yes. That's
Which is-
got to modify that course.
Yeah,
That's what we'll see. That's what I
Yeah.
want to see.
and the new layout might do that,
I mean,
which we kind of got a taste of during the triples thing.
I don't remember
did, yeah.
the get back to disc golf when Luke ran, but you had some good pros there, and I don't remember them just killing it, destroying it, 40 down or that. But
Yeah,
Well, they have, and that course has changed layouts a few times. It's not the original
it
design.
would be a 3-day event, by the way, a 40 down. That's why I said
Right.
that's still nuts. Yeah,
And I don't think they're gonna ace like
13 down a day.
Yeah, Mike got to play the triples, and they got to
Frozen
play this
tundra.
long layout.
Yeah, we played the shorter version, but we got to see the tees. So there really wasn't a whole lot of variation from the short to the long for the most part. It was just
Okay.
longer,
Yeah,
essentially.
40 feet back or 100
Which makes
feet
me
back.
feel bad because after seeing that, I'm like, damn, we should have played pro and probably could have.
You guys
probably
could have competed.
done well.
No comment. You're a
Listen, we had some last second
You're a chump
modifications.
squad when us three in it. When this chump falls out and you grab Jesse, you become a very good squad. And then
And when I drop out,
We're
Sky-
still
Sky.
MA1 though.
yeah, we are. We played as far as ratings go. We were playing MA1.
You're gonna
man.
play
Like,
MP40.
that's-
Don't look at
and
me.
He's gonna play pro. So,
Don't look at
yeah.
me. I'm 968, dude. I'm well within my right.
Dude, yeah, there's people that are still AMs that are almost 1,000 rated that are doing it for
Yeah.
the same reason. They
Yeah.
want to
Oh,
be
who's the
in,
little Am?
AM Worlds.
Who's the little dude?
Moses?
Yeah, Moses Kent.
He just friended
I
me.
like you,
Thanks,
little
Moses.
Man. Yeah, man, I like you. I like your videos. I like your enthusiasm.
I need
of
to
the
watch
game
this
being-
It's cool to see the youth
For
get
young
into
kid,
it.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's where it's at. Again, the 18-year-old kid, yeah, I'm great. I'm happy for you.
Another one to beat me, God.
No, they're the real. Matter of fact, look who comes up first on my feed. Huh?
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Instagram.
Yeah, I might have to
Well,
start
that's the
watching.
difference, dude. Is like
Captain Drafter. He's just bombing this Captain Drafter.
that's cool. Well, that's the thing is like 10 years ago you wouldn't have seen that.
Nope, not at all, man.
And
it
so
was
now, like in 20 years from now, it's gonna find like we're seeing it with Gannon, like the kids that have like finally found discs in their
Gannon still
youth.
is a kid.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like
no, I know what you mean. But
most
yeah.
of us didn't pick up discs till like our mid 20s, right?
I actually was 16.
You're a enigma then.
Yeah. So I stopped playing for about 12 years. Started playing, stopped playing, got back into it.
Yeah,
And,
but
growing up, soccer was never a sport. It was baseball, football. That's all the really two options. And then now soccer is definitely out there. So it'll take a while, but hope some more kids. And he's got some buddies that see him do well, and then they got some buddies,
But now it's
and-
also like as the money gets more into it, like it's not like oh my god, it's kind of like with gaming. Like
Oh, that is one of those.
same progress. It's like in gaming used to be like, why are you gaming and you can't make a career out of it. Now
Now you
people
can.
are. It's like one of the most lucrative if you can be successful. At it.
Parents are encouraging their
Mhm.
kids
Oh, man,
to do this.
And disc golf is kind of starting to do the same thing on a slower
I
rate.
agree. Totally.
Like it
takes-
makes more sense to do it now. Like your kid's not going to be in a van eating bread for a whole year to survive.
Dude, look
Like
at
they
Ed-
can-
look
they
at
can
Ezra.
live comfortably if
He's a fine
they're good.
specimen of a
They
man,
can.
dude. He's so
Eating
young.
beans. But yeah. So
Anyway, so PR,
going back to the PR, the layout was fun. There was a lot of fun holes the way they combined it. It was still even the shorts were still like pretty long.
It's always been like that. The
And bump it to
blues
drop
were
down.
always so tough because they're just a hair shorter than the goals. But yeah,
There
your
were
pa-
two holes that
pars
I
go
was
down.
like, "What the hell are we doing?"
Really?
Yeah. So
As far as
hole-
why are y'all playing blue?
No, it was hole 2. So hole 1 was gold tee pad to the red basket.
The one up the stairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
To the red basket. So it's just
Okay.
kind of like
I'm
I threw
scared
a,
I couldn't even
Yeah,
get
I
past
like
the
that
parking
shot.
lot.
I threw
How
a
embarrassing would that be?
zone spikeiser. Very routine.
Yeah, it seems like just a okay.
Hole 2 is blue 1 to Chillo 16
One way down there by the road.
with a Mando on a bench
What a great
thing.
What a great
So
hole.
it's like a weird. I didn't like it.
It doesn't sound. I can't really.
It was the
pictured
only
it.
one that like I was like I don't even know if I could
You
bird
got to
it.
go over that creek.
Yeah, but there's a Mando.
So it's part 3.
It's a par 4.
Okay, they did make it a 4.
There's a Mando bench which was hilarious.
What's
We were
a- what's a
laughing
Mando
about
bench?
it.
Yeah,
There was a bench that was a Mando.
Oh, I know what
bench.
bench it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
we're gonna plant a tree
But
there
you
later.
can't,
Yeah.
they want you to go right because they probably would.
You have to go left.
Okay. Oh, right brought you probably
So
back.
essentially, a great shot will end up a little bit past hole 2's tee pad if you can get it turned over enough and make the Mando.
Hole 3's
And then
tee
you still have like a 400-foot in with the cart path like to your right and a very dicey shot. It was a cool hole other than the tee shot. I just didn't like the tee shot.
And you had to go back up to blue 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you went down, put out, and you
Yeah.
walked back up. People just hate that. It doesn't
Yeah.
bother me, but
And then the hole after that was 17's tee pad, Mando left of the little like water shack thing. And then there's a red basket on the side of the creek.
that's just weird.
It was bizarre. Thankfully, it was a 4, but if it's a 4, it's like the easiest hole ever. You can't get there as a 3.
That just seems like some large space between holes. I'd love to see the layout. Actually, John sent us that to see look at it as a map.
Yeah.
You know, with the I need to look at
Those
that.
are my only 2 qualms with it. Every other hole I thoroughly enjoyed.
Okay, cool. I'm glad it was fun. Like I said, man, this weather forced me to drop that one from you guys. I
I
hated
saw
it.
being cold and triples and no.
I was excited to play it.
But the thing
I was
was, it was
excited.
better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it looked nice.
Nice.
I mean, I think that's
Like-
because I went outside that day and I was
It was
like,
like mid-40s.
Okay, it was nice. You know, I was like, okay,
yeah,
maybe,
it was.
The
it
morning
not a
was
bad
rough.
day.
yeah.
Well, that was the problem. Was the entire ground when we started was iced over,
When we,
and then by the time we
Yeah.
got to like hole 10, it was a soup fest because everything was
Nice.
thawed out.
that was like that for the Cedar Glades tournament. When it snowed round 1,
Yeah.
and then round 2 was melted, and it was just.
Yeah.
So MVP is clearly your off-season winner.
Yeah, I would say so.
Gotta be.
I mean, with
Well, here's the thing: we don't even know what Eagle's going to be at. They could have
That's
got
true.
him on a discount for all we know.
If we're looking at, yeah, they could have. If we're looking at a marketing standpoint and their disc sales, they
that's
won
what, that's
for sure.
why they win, guy. Maybe that was the
Yeah.
best deal.
Dude,
I mean,
I think that's the most important, to be honest.
Because you don't know what Eagle's going to do.
because he needed to go some because like probably most of them, everything's built into how many discs you sell with your name on signatures.
Yes.
That's where you get probably your most royalties and everything. So
I see him maybe making like $500,000, maybe.
I know it depends. It's like because I imagine the Eagle knows what Simon makes.
again, if you know if you're getting all your tournaments paid for, that's what $250 a pop. These things.
Yeah, but that's kind of just run of the mill.
No, I get that, but man,
Yeah.
that's a huge perk.
No, it is.
I mean, when you're sitting
That's saving you a few grand a year.
It depends on where you call a home as well. Your tax rate, man. If you're not living in Texas or Florida, you're dumb. And if you're making a lot of money,
That's why a lot of
Because
people
there's
move to
no state taxes,
Texas.
right?
Yeah.
You go to California or New York, man. You better make double the money because half of it's gonna half
The
or more.
Rogan effect.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he's a Colorado kid, so I'm assuming that's
Well, that's why part of the reason why I moved to Austin was the taxes. I think a lot of people do that.
Yes.
that's for
Yeah,
sure.
you're
No,
right.
listen, man, it may be a little more expensive to live there, but when you don't have any tax on food and you don't have any tax coming out of your check, giving it to the state, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
But man, so good for you, MVP. Good for you, James Conrad. Good for you, man. That shot, I'll never forget it.
Nobody will.
Man.
It
It'll
should
live
be
in
a top
infamy.
10, 20 sports moment period of all time. I mean, you can find some other.
If you're a
things.
disc golf fan, it's hard to not put it up there.
I don't know what other
Yeah,
shot
absolutely.
would you would think.
I mean, it's the best disc golf shot.
Philo's
Yeah, but that's cool. But the moment is what makes that shot.
the moments, the shot, the one you practice as a kid all the time. I gotta hit the receiver, or I gotta make the free throw.
The 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Yeah, he had to make that shot.
Yeah. I feel like that shot made more people recognize the fact that disc golf is actually a sport.
Massive. for
Has
the-
So-
feelings. You saw the people jumping around. I saw it on Sports Center.
It's because of that. Yeah. The emotion and
It
just
was
the-
kind of cool. I was working on a thumbnail. We had this thing called Winner Circle where we have people react to like their first win. So we had Kat do it this year, Cy, a whole bunch of people. and we're having Juliana do it for 2001 World's Win.
Cool.
And so, granted, there wasn't a lot of photography back then, but I've been looking through a lot of the PDGA photos throughout the years, and I went back and looked at the photos for the Holy Shot, and it's pretty cool.
Nice.
You can like see it, the stills of it in real time.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, very
And
cool.
I felt
That's
like
awesome.
when he threw it, you just knew. I was like, oh, it's, and I was watching it live, and that was pretty neat.
It is insane.
A lot of sports moments. Vince Young running in for the championship for Texas will
Boo.
always.
That was the first tournament I watched live, by the way.
Man, I think it's one of the ones I was very vested in.
Because I was like, I wanted to see Paul win live instead of seeing it post-produced. And I was like, oh, I'll go and subscribe to DGN for this month. And then that happened, and I was like, holy shit, this sport's kind of lit.
Then Paul still got a chance in the playoffs. And,
Yeah.
he
Electric, man.
Then he still had a chance. I mean, on his.
No, once he threw in the water, it was over.
I thought like he
Conrad
could make.
parked it.
Yeah, because.
Which is that might be a harder shot.
Right, the guy that's supposed to win goes out of bounds, and you see that, right? And you have to throw, and you know that, man, all I got to do is put it on the green.
Well, I think he threw first.
Did he?
Yeah, which is
Okay.
crazy because he had all that adrenaline. The walk is apparently way uphill and long,
is,
so you have
right,
all
it's
this
just a
time
long
to
walk.
think about it. And he's taking the hardest shot on that hole, like a stall putter way downhill. Crazy.
Yeah.
So, but
It
all
was
right.
his week.
This
Man,
is season
sure
2,
was.
episode 1.
And he
in the
aced that
books.
hole.
Oh. Very cool.
Season 2, episode 1.
Season 2, episode 1.
High five.
Uh,
Five.
So,
Heck yeah.
yeah, man, we're glad you guys hopefully are coming in and listening to us. We're going to do some more fun stuff
We'll do
this
live,
year. So.
yeah, different. So, anyways, thanks. We'll get this on the books and I'll do it up at home. Are you guys go play in this mini?
You could come to the mini if you want. Like, I mean, we're just going right there. I'll drive. You go park your shit at home.
Adios.
Later.